Hello everybody, Bumpy McSquigums here, and this is going to be my Let's Play of Dungeons of Dredmor. Well, we'll see how far I get. Generally, Let's Plays gets you all the way through a game. This is not one of the games that you usually get all the way through. In fact, I've played it 6 times so far. The first 5, I managed to die in level 1. Actually, no, it's been more than that. I apologize. It's been 8 times. The first 7, I've died in level 1. And then my most recent playthrough, I've actually made it down to level 4, and it's still going. So my confidence in this is quite a bit higher than it was originally. Now, if you notice there's no music, that is because, again, I'm trying not to make excuses or bring it up, but my computer right now cannot handle it. With the music, it lags really bad. You'll even hear some of the sound effects stutter. But overall, the gameplay seems to be okay. Now, I've figured out what kind of class I want to play. We're going to go with Dwarvish Moderation, a practical approach to dungeoneering. It's the medium level of difficulty. We're going to go with Permadeath because most roguelikes, that is the way to go. This is going to be one of them for me. It's like Iron Man on XCOM, for instance. You know, you mess up, your guy's going to die. That's the end of that guy. That's what it is. If I die now, it's the end of the game, so that's fine. And we're going to go with the expansion Realm of the Diggle God activated. Now, I've heard that there is a new expansion out. I don't remember the name of it, or DLC, if you will. So that's something to look forward to getting, which I will get eventually. But for now, this is what we have, and we are going to start our Let's Play right now of Dungeons of Dredmor, Gaslamp Games' little gem of a roguelike. Alright, so I always love to go axes, and I would love to do that now, but I'm not going to. I'm going to man up and go archery. I've heard that ranged combat is the way to go. I've played very few minutes getting familiar with how to actually use this. So essentially you select your bolt that you want to use to shoot, and then you right click. It goes into like your spell tab over here, which is your right click. And then you can also equip a melee weapon and use that as, well, your melee. So, we'll see how it goes. I don't know that I'm going to do amazing. I'm going to go for a very dodgy, nimble build. That's going to be my thing. I'm probably going to use some stupid skills. I'm not going to go with a crafting ability or skill this time. I'm going to try to keep this Let's Play as focused on combat and progression as possible. I may make mistakes. I was considering starting one. I was recording it to see how it played through, and I was just going to play through for maybe a half hour. About 25 minutes in, I did something stupid and I died. So that was fine, you know. It wasn't a big deal. So this is going to be my first true attempt at getting all the way through a Let's Play episode. I may actually do this on a weekly basis. I may up the difficulty level, and I think if I do well this time, or at least okay, I get past level 1, next time I may just random all my stats and go with whatever they give me. I'm by no means good at this game, and I'll do it on a harder difficulty, or the hardest difficulty. So, we'll see how this goes. We will see how this goes. So I'm going to go with archery. I'm going to go with, like I said, dodgy, nimble. So we're going to go artful dodger, perception, burglary, assassination. And then I have 2 left. I'm going to go archaeology, and I don't know what big game hunter is, but I like the sound of it. I'm going with it, and that is going to be our character. We're going to name him Mick Shooty Pants, I guess. Sounds like a good thing. And we're going to go with the large eyebrowed man. Dredmor, bad guy, got locked away. He's loosened his magical bonds. He's ready to kill. So we're going to go down into his dungeon and stop him. King says, hey, you're to be our hero. Get down there and kill. So we're going to do that. And we're going to see how this all plays out. Now, if you notice down here, we have all these different bolts. We're going to start with our poison bolts, just because I really don't like the poison bolts. If a character isn't going to sit still in the poison, it doesn't do that much damage. So anyway, we're going to move around. You move with the WASD. Every move you make is a turn, so you'll see how it plays out. Now you generally start in rooms like this where you have 2 or 3 doors. Every playthrough I've had 3 doors except the last one had 2, so that was interesting. And to my left was a store, so I could really only go right. So we'll see how this one is. Every time you play the game, the dungeons are completely different. You'll always have some similarities, but for the most part, you know, it's completely different. You might not have statues of inconsequentia necessarily on one level, or you might not have a Lutefisk shrine on another. So, but next playthrough, you have five or six of them. Same thing with stores. You might have only a couple small stores or one small store on a level. The last playthrough, I had like three large stores and two small stores that I found in the first half of the first level of the dungeon. So it really depends. All right, so the Statue of Inconsequentia, if you've never played this game and you're checking it out for the first time, she is the goddess of side quests. Yeah, there's a mouthful, guys. So when you click on her, and don't shoot an arrow like an idiot, like I did, she'll give you a side quest. The monstrous regimen, Lord Dredmor's 97th flank, the badly dressed shock, has recently claimed possession of the artifact. Twigor, the unimpressive Elder Sign. Too powerful for any man. It must be taken to the Eyeball Shrine to be destroyed. So she wants you to kill a bunch of guys, get the item from them, find the Eyeball Shrine, and then destroy the item. Now this is nice to see. There is a bolts of vendor thing right here. But sadly we have no money. I have set up auto loot for... I'll show you. I set up auto loot for... bolts, food, and lockpicking. Okay. So those things will always come up whenever we do things. Now this is kind of nice. We have a wooden sword. So we at least start with a weapon. I am not going to use the cracked orb, even though I have nothing in my offhand. I'm not going to use it. There is a blobby over here. We're going to shoot him with an arrow. He's going to take some damage. I'm going to wait for him to walk over. Smack him with the sword. Smack him with the sword again, and down he goes. Alright, so we're going to just pretty much loot everything we can in the beginning of the game. We auto-loot food when we move over it, so that is excellent. That's something I didn't know about until just recently, so I'm pretty happy with that. We'll hit the diggle twice, and then we'll smack him. And that's that. We get grizzly trophies. I'm not sure what that does. Like I said, I'm still learning what a lot of these things are. Trophy collector. Carved trophies for vague grisly rewards. In other words, you get an experience bonus. Oh, well nice. Look at that. So we should actually level up quicker than most other classes having the big game hunter ability. Alright, now what I don't want in my inventory, or in my hotbar, is I do not want traps or drinks, because I don't use mana. So what I do want is food and bolts. Those are my kind of my bread and butter. Literally one is kind of bread and possibly butter, but yeah, so that's our goal. Oh man, Herodric Lutefisk cube. Man, you don't see those in the early levels very often, so that's kind of an exciting thing. What that does allows you to turn any item in your inventory into Lutefisk, which you can eventually get enough of and turn those into, or bring them to a Lutefisk shrine and actually get an item out of them. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so as it stands right now, we're doing well. I haven't died yet. I'm not saying I usually die this early on. I do die usually in level 1, but usually I get a little further than this. I don't die in the first 4 or 5 creatures. So, I feel we're doing pretty good. We're not that far in. And, hey, a crossbow. Yeah, I've been looking for one of those quite some time, actually. I've apparently used up... Alright, so what... I don't know how this works, so I'm going to put this here. Oh, apparently I have a small crossbow already. Okay. Well. So. Maybe I always had a crossbow. Like I said, I tried this before. I apologize, guys. I've tried this before, like I said, just to see how it went, play through a little bit, see if I would at least be relatively successful with the build, and just to familiarize myself. Even if I wasn't going to be successful, I was still going to go this route. So, don't get me wrong, I wasn't trying to get some unfair advantage. I mean, many people play this game hundreds of times. I've played it less than 10. I know I'm not good at the game. But I figured I'd do something different for me, so it's almost like a blind Let's Play. Oh, that was bad. I didn't actually mean to step on that, but that's okay.
Your health is low.
Oh boy. See, this is what I'm talking about. I've done this before, where I've made stupid mistakes. like triggering traps, for instance, but also disarming traps that I really shouldn't be trying to disarm until my disarming skill goes better. Now, what I plan on doing for my leveling up is I plan to level up both my weapon skills and my critical strike, my assassination tree. Those are my options. Come on, door open. There we go. Alright, so we can shoot from, I believe, any distance, which is kind of a cool thing. I think this thing is a higher level creature, too. It does seem rather dodgy. Just did a tremendous amount of damage. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Alright. So we're going to go with a crossbow blast, and then assassination. And we're going to level those two up. When we're done with that, we'll probably work more toward building our dodge up, I suppose you could say. That's going to be kind of what we do. What is that? Is that a real book or just a statue? It's a statue. We have a dwarven boomerang. And we're doing pretty good. Oh, I just triggered so many traps. That was not good. Anything that's got a 45% chance, we are not going to take until we eat up some food. Alright, now we're going to give it a shot. Yeah, alright, so we managed to disarm the rest of those. After triggering them to begin with, which was not recommended. I always advise not triggering traps if you can help it. Now, I realize oftentimes you're not going to be able to help it.
Critical hits.
Critical hit. I do like the sound effects, guys. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but, oh boy. We need to eat some food. I think I did mention this at the beginning. The reason that we have no food. That's awkward. The reason there's no music is it lags my computer.
Your health is critical. Critical hits.
Lags my computer quite badly, and not just lags the computer, but the sound itself, the music lags and stutters, and it just sounds really, really bad. So, in order to save you guys from that, I decided it would probably be just best if I disabled the music. So, I do apologize for that. The soundtrack is actually pretty decent. I don't mind it at all, and I've been one over the past several years to just disable all music in every game. I prefer listening to my own, but you know, being on YouTube, that's not one of the options, and that's okay. I don't mind it. So having to, I'll say being forced to do the opposite now and listen to the games, I'm actually getting somewhat of an appreciation for it. So that's kind of nice in its own way. It's like adding an element that I kind of previously forgot back to gaming. So, and all, it's not bad. I'm really hurt right now. I got pummeled pretty bad by that evil potato. I did not enjoy it in any way, shape, or form, so we're gonna have to be careful here. This looks like a Lutefisk. Yes, this is a Lutefisk shrine. Eventually when you get about 100, last time I had to get 150. Lutefisk, you turn them into the shrine, and that gives you an item. I'm not sure if deeper into the dungeon they're better items, or how that works exactly. Alright, well, we're right back to the beginning. I like that. But regardless, it's always nice to get a good item. It's never just a basic item. It's always something special. It may not be an amazing special item, but I mean, it doesn't have to be. It's something. Oh, he ran away from me. So I'll smack him with our sword, we'll dodge, and he's dead. We're getting some Zork mids, not very many, we only got 50, but that's 50 more than we had before. I do kind of want to go to the food vendor, but like I said, we don't have much money. I think I just shot the chest. The gnome is dead, which is excellent. We got a wand. Did that say a delicious wand? No, a deciduous wand? Alright, we do have some cheese. Cheese is good. Cheese seems to be one of the mainstay foods in this game as well. So, as I mentioned, I would like to do this once a week, if possible. Play through as far as I can. This first time, it's going to be brought out over several episodes. Now, a lot of people have done Let's Plays and they make episodic things of it, like each week. I know one of my, well, probably my favorite Let's Player. He does a lot of strategy games, a lot of the stuff that I enjoy playing. And he's kind of one of the reasons I decided, hey, that seems like a lot of fun, to do Let's Plays. He's one of the reasons I've decided to throw my hand into this mixed bag of talent. I by no means think I'm on his level, but he's actually been kind of a cool guy. I've talked to him quite a few times, but he's doing a series each week now that he's just started actually recently, and that's Faster Than Friday. So he's gonna run FTL, Faster Than Light, each Friday for everyone. See how far he can get, and he made it to the last boss last time. I think it was one of his first few times getting there. And I know it was his first time getting through phase 1 of the boss, so that's really cool. I'm glad to see that he actually got that far, and I know he really enjoys that game. So yeah, it was pretty cool. I don't want to steal like everybody's ideas and things, but again, there's so many people doing Let's Plays. Pretty much everything's been done already. So I can't say right now I even know everything that's been out there, or what's being done. So yeah, pretty much anything I do at this point is going to be someone else's idea. Not necessarily that I steal it, but even if I think of it, I'm sure someone's already done it already. So I'm going to try to play through. Dungeons Dredmor is a fun game. I enjoy it quite a bit, and I'm going to do my best to, play it each week. Some weeks, I'm going to try to mix it up. I'm never going to try to play the same kind of character. And I imagine some weeks I'll die right away. Like, I'm actually pretty nervous this week. I have a feeling that, or in this first playthrough, I have a feeling I'm going to do something really dumb, and I'm going to pay for it. And we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll be amazing this time. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Just the quick, easy blow through, real quick, just to see how it worked out. Kind of learn the class a little bit. Like, I have no idea how magic works right now. So if I end up getting a magic class randomed, I'm going to have no idea how it's going to play. But I'm not going to continue to experiment anymore off camera. So my Let's Plays with whatever class I do end up getting randomed is going to be just fresh and new. I'm not going to have prior experience unless it's something I've already played. So yeah, so things are going to go pretty good. I'm going to enjoy this. Hopefully you guys will as well. We're just going to continue moving through the dungeon. So basically in this game, you want to always full clear each and every dungeon. Meddling Kid. Alright. Full clear each and every dungeon, or level of the dungeon, because, well, you need to get those levels to get further down. And you also need the equipment. I mean, you need to get everything you possibly can. Essentially suck the level dry is what you need to do. I don't know what these things do. They look cool, though. I kind of want to pursue those. That summons a pack of ravenous hunting diggles. Stuff like this is just awesome. Alright, so we did the 1 point in crossbow bolt stuff type things, and now we're going to go with assassination. So we're going to alternate between the two of those until we either max them both out or until I say, hey, we're just getting pummeled to death easily by everything known to man. I don't like it. We're not going to do it anymore. We are going to up our dodging. So the whole premise of this, the whole way this is going to work is, in theory, I am going to be able to murder everything before it reaches me. That's the ultimate goal here. But, barring that, if that does not indeed happen, our secondary goal is going to be, when they get up on us, they can't hit us because we're so crafty, nimble, and dodgy that they just miss every single time. So, that's my goal. We'll see if we actually live up to that goal. I'm getting pretty close to, I believe, when I'm going to break off this episode. I'm not 100% sure. I think we've been about 20 minutes in, so we got about 10 more minutes to go. And that is a good item to always find, guys. The wizard keys is, I believe, something that's been added relatively recently. And it essentially gives you your own realm to go to where you can store stuff. Now, you can't eat or drink in that realm because you could just escape there and then heal up and then come back in, more or less indefinitely. So the devs at least thought of that. But you can actually store items there. Say you don't have access to a shop right away, which is looking like we don't. You can always just go store your stuff there, and then when you find a shop, you can teleport, and it brings you right back to where you teleport from. So, you know, it makes it very good for looting purposes. You don't need to leave tons of things laying around on the ground. I don't know if the Loot Fist Cube was added as well in the recent expansion, or in the Realm of the Diggle Gods expansion, which I guess isn't all that recent. I'm not sure. This is kind of nice. This is actually very nice. This is an excellent. This is a huge item, if I'm not mistaken. 7 dodge rating? Yes, 7 dodge chance. This is huge. And then what is an enemy dodge? So you potentially increase your ability to not get hit and reduce the enemy's ability to not get hit. And wow, those are quite good. Alright, so we're looking pretty decent on actual bolts. We have no crafting skill, so crafting is going to be kind of meh for us. So we will be kind of slaves to the RNG gods as far as what we can attain for equipment. We're going to do everything we can to not, under any circumstances, lower our dodge chance. Alright, so our inventory is full, as you may have laggedly heard there. So I'm going to create a sell pile over here. The things I do not want and that I will sell, and then I will also use transmutation on other things. The things that I think will sell a decent amount are going to be stuff like that. Spectacles, probably not. I believe, yes, our hat is actually ridiculously good. Traps I'm going to transmute. I have a small crossbow already. That doesn't really help us. The robe, don't care about it. Shields, probably going to sell for a decent amount. This wand. You know, just, well, basically the armor and stuff like that. I'm going to sell pressure plates, stuff all along this line, all along these lines here. More bolts down here. In fact, let's see, we'll use our, we have some really nice bolts. It's actually looking quite nice for us here. I believe mushrooms actually sell for a decent amount. Just in case I can craft. I don't know if I can. Without crafting skill, maybe there's something that gives me the ability to craft. Like an item or something, I don't know. I'm probably going to save the crafting stuff until I know 100% for sure that I cannot craft under any circumstances. Now, I would like to add some of our food down here because we have none, which I don't particularly enjoy. I think we should always have food in our bar down here. Alright. So now we're going to add that there. Add that there. Add this here. I apologize, guys. I know this is not the most exciting thing to be watching. And powdered aluminum. Put all powdered stuff separate. Alright, so we're going to open our Loot Fist Cube. We're going to drag all our trap type things in here. You can already tell, see, this is where you'll hear the lag the best. So you imagine how the music would play if we're lagging with him just saying whatever it is that he's saying. So yeah, I do apologize. It's kind of funny to me. I actually enjoy hearing that. So we're just going to pretty much get through most of this stuff here. I don't know what half of it does. I know most things just kill you or hurt you when you drink it, so the ones that I don't know what they do or sound like they do something bad, we are going to put away. Like the Aqua Vita stuff. Any of the Aqua stuff seems to be alchemical components, and they tend to hurt you a lot. So yeah, we're not going to do that. We're going to gather our loot fisk and throw it up there. We have 65, so we're doing pretty good on that. We're going to leave our wizard realm here. And our inventory is relatively open again. Now we can't use it again for 30 seconds, which is okay. It is quite alright. We're going to continue to find new and exciting things. Apparently I triggered a trap I didn't see. I'm sure you guys saw it. And we're like, yeah, what are you doing? Oh, the axe tower, that's pretty neat. I kind of wish I went axes. I do actually enjoy axes quite a bit. Alright, we have nothing on our hands. This doesn't lower our dodge chance at all. I don't know exactly what it does, but... what is that? I don't know. I don't know what the thing is to the right. I have no idea. It doesn't seem to be a resistance. It doesn't seem to be a resistance or any of our actual stats or things in the bottom here. I'm looking real close. And I'm just not seeing it, so I don't know what that thing to the right there does. It's okay. I guess I don't necessarily need to know. Alright, so we are in this area, which we just came here. We're going to vandalize some more statues, which I'm sure I mentioned, but in case I didn't, always, always, always vandalize the statues. It is a good chunk of experience, and yeah. Alright. Kill him.
Critical hits.
Drop this guy. Take him down. Reclaim our bolts. Pick up some stuff. Oh, look at that. A new crossbow. Doesn't really look that much more amazing. Took him down. And that looks like that's the item that we need to actually bring out for the quest that we have. Alright, so we got some leather boots. We have no boots on right now. Oh, we do. We have flippy floppies, which we just replaced with the same item, with the same, what is it, dodge? Yeah. Same dodge chance, but we get an actual 1% armor absorption, so, or a 1 armor absorption. So some flat damage mitigation, which is always nice. Always nice if you can get that. Alright, so I believe this is going to trigger the teleport. It does, alrighty. And we now have a crossbow. It does 1 and adds to mana, I guess? Which doesn't really matter to us. We may just end up selling that, to be honest. I mean, 1 more mana does nothing for me, so if I get more Zorknids out of it, I'm going to do that. Alright, so what I'm going to attempt to do now is clear out this area right in here. The next few minutes, and then we're going to call it closed to episode 1, then we will continue in episode 2. I also want you guys to check out, today I'm going to try to do a blind let's play of Faster Than Light. I've seen some people play it, so it's not completely blind. It's not a true blind let's play, but I've never actually had my hands on the game. So check that out later today. I'm also going to attempt my very best to do a full playthrough of one of my old favorite games on the Commodore 64, which is a system many of you probably haven't even heard of. The game was actually made the year I was born, so kind of an old game. Dates me just a bit, but the reason I'm doing this is it was a lot of fun. It's similar to this in many ways. One of the main differences is it's not turn-based. So how do I describe it? You go through the different areas. This game kind of has fog of war, and as you move through, it expands. This game, I guess, had the original fog of war. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Rogue was considered the original game. It's considered almost a roguelike, and I guess the fact that, it's got procedurally generated, so every time a random dungeon happens, it's not roguelike in the fact that you have 5 lives as opposed to 1. And I believe you only level up depending on what you accomplish as you go through the level. So you start off, you have a dagger and I think leather armor or something. As you go through, it's an action type game. Again, it's really old, guys. It's from 1983. But it's an action type game, so when you see an enemy, the enemy is going to move toward you or move around. So it's not just going to sit there and then when you move, it moves. So you have to be aware of what's going on around you at all times. There are traps like there are in this game. You have the ability to detect traps, though it's separate. It's not inherent like in this game. It's a fun game all around. It's not much to look at again. 1983, Commodore 64. It's an old game, but it's really, really fun. So what I think I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to break this episode off right now. I will finish this up before the end of the week, so you will have the full Dungeons of Dredmor playthrough as far as I get this week, and I will attempt to do another one next week. So this will spread out over the week. Next week, I'll probably do it all in one day, to throw it up for you guys. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys will feel free to comment, subscribe, like, do all that stuff. I wouldn't mind hearing some advice, things I could do better, things I can look forward to. You know, I can't promise I'll always take everybody's advice because I'm kind of my own man. I like to do things my own way. But, you know, the more I learn, the more I will incorporate smart ideas into what I do. So, again, feel free to give me a hand when and where you can. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you in the next episode. I'm Bumpy McSquigums, and see you later.